My friend Wendy invited me this month um, to a Facebook group on mindful eating. I was amazed. I think of myself as a very mindful person. And I was amazed to see how much of mindless eating I did. So, today's topic, I'm going to talk about soothe yourself without food. Now, as you can tell from my pictures, I'm not very obese or overweight, but I found that I was using food to relax or to deal with my emotions. So today's topic is going to be finding mindful ways to relax and soothe yourself without food. And again, in my talks, I'm always talking about the brain because when we feel angry, sad, or anxious, we all know that there's a tendency for us to eat. And I want to show you techniques of bringing love, joy, and peace. So in the next slide, I'm going to talk about two very good books that I'm basing this information on. I used many of these techniques, and I like these two books that are written very well. Joel Fuhrman's Eat to Live, right? It's a classic book. If you never read it, strongly suggest read it and act on that. And then Susan Albers has got two books. She's got 50 ways to soothe yourself without food. And then she's got, this is the most recent book of her, 50 more ways to soothe yourself without food. And I recommend both the books. My suggestion is go to the public library, check these books out. If you like them, go ahead and invest in them. These are books that I look at again and again. So the next slide, I'll tell you a quick outline of what we have to do, right? First thing you have to understand is we eat for more than our physical sustenance, right? First thing is our brain is hardwired for sugar, salt, and fat. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to also understand you may eat a lot of food but still not feel satisfied. And the third one is sometimes we feel full but we still eat, especially when we are mindless about it or we are going through a very, we have some strong feelings going on. So I got 5 steps here, foods that help. Second one is change your thoughts because the way we think often causes the eating. Then meditation, relaxation. I mean, this is a meditation website, so you're going to hear all those things. And then our brain is a social brain. So you could leverage others around you to help or even give help. And the 5th one is doing some fun activities or distractions. So let's get started. Let's talk about the brain, right? So the most important one is satiety, right? This feeling full. Oftentimes, we don't feel full at the end of a meal, and we kind of stop eating. So the first thing I want you to do is, oftentimes we feel hungry even before it's lunchtime or a meal time. And in many cases, you realize it's just thirst. So drink a glass of water or have some tea, and you'll be amazed that those pangs of hunger may go away. Second one is make sure you incorporate healthy fat in your diet. Even though all guidelines are telling you avocados, nuts, extra virgin olive oil in your salad, these are all good choices. Again, in moderation, avoid with nuts with nuts with a lot of salt in them and things like that. Then protein, right? You have to have some amount of protein. There's a whole bunch of people who are on vegan or vegetarianism. It's good if you can follow it, but there's nothing wrong in incorporating some amount of meat or dairy products in your diet. Now, the important thing you have to understand is the magic, right? Salt, sugar, and fat. Our brain is hardwired for these things. So take time to understand what you're eating, because if you don't have enough of these, it's going to be a problem. But once you get enough of this, you want to eat more. So the main one I need you to understand is eat light, right? 1,200 to 1,500 calories is plenty for most of us. Now here's the thing you have to understand. I may give you a small dish with 1,200 or 1,500 calorie, I may have 300, 400 calorie dish, but if that doesn't fill you up, you'll eat more. So that's where fruits and vegetables play an important role. When we eat a lot of fruits and vegetables as opposed to bread or rice, we don't feel full. I come from an Asian background where we eat a lot of rice, and it ending up causing a lot of calories. And then again, the point I keep making is protein is overrated, some meat is okay, fish, eggs, they're perfectly okay, some dairy products are okay. So take time to see what are the foods that help you to meet these requirements and use that. Stay away from too much sugar, fat, or salt. So in the next slide, I like this slide. This is from Joel Fuhrman's book. He calls it G-bombs. G-bombs is greens, beans, onions, mushrooms, berries, and seeds. If you have salads, if you have a large salad with this, you'll feel satiety. That means you feel your stomach is full. Get some added proteins and fats. There's nothing wrong with it. And then these foods provide you nutrients. And Joel Fuhrman's logic is the more nutrients you eat, the more satisfied you feel. And the concept of empty calories, right? When you drink a carbonated sugary drink, you don't feel full, you feel hungry, right? So that's why eating fruits and vegetables, they not only provide a lot of nutrients, they also fill our stomach. So look at this, it's a very powerful way for you. The next slide, we're going to talk about changing our thoughts, right? We all have this craving, right? Suddenly when we are sad, we get a craving for ice cream. And again, this is culture specific, right? In the United States, there are people, friends of mine, who crave for pasta, or they will crave for chocolate, or there are friends of mine who would eat a whole gallon of ice cream, right? Not a whole gallon, but maybe a whole quart of ice cream watching TV. My personal poison is chips. I could eat a whole bag of chips watching TV. So the important thing is to acknowledge your craving. Anytime you have a craving, train yourself to be aware of it. And my two techniques are, one is called free writing. When you take time to just vent about it, saying, hey, I really feel this urge to eat chocolate or whatever, at the same time acknowledge the pain or the feelings that are associated with it. Now, free writing is very simple. Free writing, you can just write whatever you want. At the end of it, you tear it up or burn it up, right? That's not a problem. Journaling, on the other hand, is you take time to say, how do I feel about this? What did I eat today? And how. And they found when you're mindful about eating, first thing is you get satiety, but also you're getting better control, emotional control over food. In the next slide, we're going to talk about meditation and relaxation, right? The number of meditation techniques, especially when you get the hunger pang, take time to drink a glass of water and take time to visualize or do breathing exercise. Check my website, I got a number of techniques. The other one I do is massage acupuncture. This is spelling wrong, acupuncture and acupressure. They're very good opportunities to do this. I would strongly recommend that. And acupressure is particularly fine because I use very simple techniques here. And then I also talk about calming music, classical music, meditation music. If you like to play a particular musical instrument, it's amazing. All you need is about 2 or 3 minutes away from that craving, and you are able to pause through it. The next slide, I'm going to talk about the social brain, right? Your brain is very social. And the thing is, have a buddy system, right? If you're the kind who craves for snacks, have a friend that you can talk with ahead of time and text that person or call that person. All you need is a distraction for 2 or 3 minutes. Take time to see what are the healthy foods, right? Many times, a food that you enjoy and you find healthy and you eat, it helps you a lot. Join support groups. There are a number of good Facebook groups that help with mindful eating. And take part in healthy lifestyle challenge. Every few months, I take part in challenges with my friends where I take time to do exercise or eat healthy. So just having, our brain is very social. You can do it with just a couple of friends, or you can do it with a big group of people. And it's amazing when you get support how motivated you are. And then the other one is helping others, right? When you take time to help other people, do community work or social work, it's a good way to soothe yourself instead of using food. The last technique I'm going to talk about, in the slide I'm going to talk about fun activities and distraction. Now remember, boredom is a key factor with eating, right? How many times have you watched a TV show or a football game on TV and you've been eating as you've been watching, and suddenly that whole packet of chips or the whole box of cookies or that quart of ice cream has disappeared? So watching a funny TV show seems to help. Laughing helps there. But don't eat while you're watching TV. It's a very important thing. Read a good book. Try not to eat a book about food, needless to say. Go for a walk. Simple exercise is going to help. Write, sketch, or paint. All these are very important things. So important thing is to replace your boredom, loneliness, or sadness with action. That's very important. In the last slide, I'm summarizing the key things. Understand the connection between brain and food, right? The brain is hardwired for sugar, salt, and fat. And for some reason, when we are lonely, we are sad, or we are angry, we seem to want to eat more food. And then remember, satiety does not equal calories. When you eat a large salad, when you have some healthy fats in it, that fills us up more than eating bread or rice or other foods like that. So these are the 5 techniques, foods that help. I talked about how find the foods that help you with satiety and that are nutritious to you. Take time to understand your cravings. It's very important. Use different meditation and relaxation techniques. 4th one is leverage your social brain, help others get help, and then have some fun activities or distractions. So thank you for attending this, paying attention to this video. Check out my website, www.meditation-magic.com for more details. Thank you.